Hi, welcome along to my new series on the modern Mini. In this series I'm going to cover basic service and repairs on the BMW Mini. This one that I'm going to be working on today, I'm just going to do a basic oil and filter change in it that any average DIY home mechanic can do themselves with basic tools really. I service my engines every 6,000 miles. That way I know that they're reliable and it keeps them good, because at the end of the day your oil is the blood of your engine. If you keep that clean and renewed and topped up, the car will last you a long time. This thing never needs oil to be topped up in between servicing, although I do check it every week. But this has got the Peugeot HDI engine in it, and it's a bloody good engine. So what I'll do now is I'll show you some of the basic tools that you're going to require to do this job. These are the tools here that you're going to require. A jack, obviously, a couple of axle stands, a funnel, an oil catch tray, sockets, possibly a couple of spanners, a screwdriver, Torx sockets, but a Torx screwdriver will work just the same, a couple of extension pieces, rag, blue roll and oil. Now, the first thing you want to do before you do an oil change is get the engine up to temperature. So ideally let it idle for 5-10 minutes or so, or even better still, take it a run around the block. Get the engine super hot so that the oil's thin and it can flow out easily. I've already given that car a run up to the petrol station to get some diesel, so I know the engine's hot. So now we can crack on and get the car jacked up and get the under trays off it. Once you've got the car fully supported in axle stands, just make sure that it's not going to go anywhere, because you're going to be lying underneath it. So the next step now is to take off the under tray. Your under tray is held on by a series of screws in the corners. I've got a bolt here and a bolt here as well, because obviously they buggered up at some point. This car's done 145,500 miles, so it's not too bad. So what you want to do now is get all these screws off. With the under tray off, it gives you the perfect opportunity to check for any oil leaks, and as you can see there, there's no oil leaks coming from this car. It obviously has had a leak at some point, but that's not recent. Your sump sits on this side here anyway, and as you can see, that's as dry as a bone. Now you want to take off your oil filler cap and just lay that on top there. It's also a good idea to lift your cover at this point, just to check your injectors, just to make sure that they're not leaking. I know this one's not, because I check these cars very regularly. Now we'll move underneath and we'll get the sump plug cracked off. While the sump's happily draining away, it's an ideal opportunity to change oil filter. But what we'll do now is we'll remove the bolt for the reservoir, the antifreeze reservoir, your coolant, so that we can move this out the road to gain better access to the oil filter. Right, this is the shallow socket that you're going to need to crack off the cartridge for the oil filter. It's a 27mm and it also does the R55 Cooper S. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that on the end of the oil filter and use the extensions for the socket so that I can wind it out without sticking my hands inside the engine bay where the space is restricted. Now that we've got the oil filter out of the car, we can reconnect the sump plug and we'll swap these elements over. The new oil filter element, there's a little rubber washer on this here, a little seal. So prior to fitting it, just dip your finger in some oil and then give it a little lubrication. That just helps it seal, and then fit that back into the car. What I like to do before I fit the cover back on the canister is give it a clean out inside, just to make sure that it's nice and clean. I just use some blue roll for this, and also give the outside a little wipe as well. Right, now you'll have to change the O-ring on that, and that just basically comes off nice and easy. Bin that and fit the new O-ring that came with the oil filter. When you're fitting it, you want to make sure that it's flat and it's all facing the same way, because that one's got a little twist in it. Right, that's it now, that's it all fitting now. And again, just give that a little lubrication with some oil. Right, now that we've got the canister back on, we can refit the expansion tank, and that just clips back into place. And again refit the screw. Right now it's just a matter of filling it back up with oil. I like to use the filter there so that I don't make a mess. The oil that these cars takes 530 fully synthetic, and they take about 1.4 litres, 4.3 litres of oil, sorry. I know it's going to take this entire bottle because there's not a lot in that. Right, I've let that sit for a few minutes, so I'll just take a little reading on that just to see how much oil, if any, it needs. As you can see there, it's sitting right on the maximum. So what I'll do now is I'll put the cap back on it, run the engine for a minute or so just to let it fill up the cartridge, and then we'll take another reading. Just give that a minute or so to settle, and then we'll take another reading. Right, that's had a good few minutes to settle into the sump, so we'll just check the oil level now. Yep, as you can see there, that's bang on the money, so I'm happy with that. So all it's a matter of doing now is just fitting the under tray again, taking the car off the axle stands, and disposing of the oil. What I tend to do with the oil is I take it to my local garage and they burn it in the heating system. But you've got to remember to dispose of your oil responsibly. Most local council tips will happily take your old oil from you, and what I do is I fill up my empty oil container that I put in the car and take it away for safe disposal doing that. Anyway guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again.